Hi guys, you join me on a really weary Friday morning. It's been such a busy week on top of all the day-to-day. We've had quite a job to do at our old house, which is now our rental house. I think I might have told you this in a previous video, but when we were buying our current house, our sale fell through on our first house, our old house. So we had a pretty stressful situation where this was all going through here, and we thought we might lose this sale if we kind of pulled out with not having a buyer for ours. So what we actually did was scrape every single penny we had together in terms of savings, and we were able to actually keep our old house and rent it out. So that has been a rental for the last 4 years. I feel like Sam's walking around the back. So we have had 2 lots of tenants, and the second lot have just moved out. But after every set of tenants, obviously, like, people kind of don't stay on top of things like they would if it was their own house. So there's quite a few things that we had to go over just to get it into a state that is, you know, acceptable for renting out for new people. So we've been over there decorating a lot, just sorting the odd bits and pieces off. I've actually got to go back over there later on this afternoon and meet the carpet cleaners. So I'll take you guys and you can see the progress, because it does look really good now. I'm really happy with it. Even like by the end of the week, I wasn't hating the millennial grey quite so much. I was like, oh no, this does like still works. It's quite heritage. So yeah, so it's been a busy week. I am also just about to try and do my hair because I was so dusty and everything that I did like a rough blow dry last night, just to like I say blow dry, I don't ever blow dry my hair. My hair's so poker straight, except for when I leave it wet and then tie it up, so it's not looking its best. And it's mine and Sam's 5-year anniversary, or 5-year wedding anniversary today, so we are going out this evening. So if I get my hair done now, then it's one less thing to do tonight when the kids are back. We got to get them back from nursery, pyjamas, all of that stuff. I am gonna have a sip of coffee though, because I can feel it. We're right at the, I feel like every time I record, I'm always at the end of a shop, and this is like a real particular week because I've not been around to stay on top of like the normal, oh, we just ran out of that, I'll just grab that again. So coffee, we're on the very last dregs of, and just everything. So I'm knackered. And I thought it was a good idea to go and do a class this morning. So if I wasn't finished last night, I'm absolutely finished now. So, not quite the same, but it's not bad. Okay, let's do my hair quickly. It feels like it's been such a long time since I last actually filmed, so I should probably fill you in on what we've been up to. So I think the last time I was filming, I'd just finished the pantry-ish, and I was going to Ascot, so I'll show you what dress I ended up wearing for Ascot in just a second, because I still need to get it dry cleaned and then put away properly, because it's just going to take up too much space in my wardrobe, and it's not something that I'm probably going to wear again. So I'm going to pop it away. I was thinking about selling it, but I think I'm actually going to pop it away because it's the kind of dress I can kind of imagine like maybe Lila wearing to, I don't know if she's, this is something that I didn't think I'd be like in terms of as a mum, because I'm not very keepsakey in terms of, I don't hold on to a lot of stuff. I'm quite ruthless, whereas Sam is the total opposite, because he like literally I think probably has every single one of his trophies, like big massive, the checks that they get when they win like a competition kind of thing. I feel like he's got most of them. Maybe he doesn't actually have all of those, so I feel like I might have shuffled a few of those away when we moved into the first house, because there just wasn't any storage space. But yeah, I'm like the total opposite. I really like to not have a lot of clutter around. So yes, but actually this might actually make the cut, and just need to figure out whether it's going to stay, because it's white. I'm just worried about it like oxidizing if I put it in the loft. And also it's not unheard of for us to have mice in our loft because we are obviously so close to the woods. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out whether it's a good idea or not to keep it in the loft. If anybody knows of any good storage solutions for things like bags, dresses, then let me know, because it's one area I can't say I'm a huge expert in. Like normally when I put things up in the loft, it's just in those like zip seal and vacuum bags, and that kind of does the job. And if it doesn't, it's like, no, I'm like, oh well, if I was putting it up in the loft, it wasn't because I was like too precious about holding on to it anyway. But yeah, this I would be quite sad if it got ruined. So if anybody knows of any good store, and the same goes for a hat. I've got a hat as well, equally. I'm going to probably put in storage because it's not an everyday hat. Beautiful boater, but it's not something, because of it's quite a shallow hat. It's not like I could just wear it for like a really nice lunch or things like that in the summer. Ow! Oh god, I haven't done that for a while. That's because I'm not concentrating. And then what else has been happening? They had like the British Grand Prix, which I worked at, which was amazing. Had probably the best weekend at work that I've had in years, because the company I was working for were brilliant. We had some really great guests. I was like hosting, and yeah, it was brilliant. It was such a great, and obviously the race itself was so exciting, so that was really fun. I think I'd already been to the British Grand Prix as in MotoGP when I saw you guys last. That was equally good. It was nice to go there as a guest for once and not be working and just soak it all in. Oh, I've not done my hair particularly well today, but it's fine, it will do. It's better than it looking a bit frayed around the edges. Yeah, so, and then like I said, it's just like all the house thing obviously always comes up quite unexpected, and so you just have to put everything on hold to get it ready as quickly as possible, in the hope that we get some new tenants nice and quickly. I was just coming out quickly to check. We've got some like new plants just down in the corner there, and yesterday we had such a crazy downpour, and I like it. Yeah, it was quite the event, so I just wanted to see how they were doing. I'm really confused though, because this hydrangea here, this one always comes out quite late, but I'm a bit worried because it's only had, and like that one got killed because Sam Lemon took his little hacking to a little bit of an extreme level. Sam, I wouldn't say he's like such a he's so good at a lot of things, but I wouldn't say that gardening is one of those things. He's a little bit extreme when it comes to trimming his bushes back. But yeah, for some reason that has not flowered well, so that's a real shame, because normally that one does really well. Although, but then interestingly, that one, it could be all of this stuff. I might have to do a bit of a plant diagnosis of that one, because yeah, it's not looking great, which is a shame. And then I was laughing as well because in our haste of getting a lot of things done in like a week, our tomato plants have just basically taken over the whole vegetable truck, and so we tried to make some like makeshift trellis things for them. It's not quite worked. It's not looking great. Turn you around. Totally out of hand. Totally out of hand. I think we need to have a little bit of a tidy up of this over the weekend. But look at the size of the tomatoes. They're not going to go red, and look, some of them are in the soil. Okay, this is definitely an important job to do, because otherwise that was a huge waste. We're also still waiting for the rug to dry out from the rug doctor, so I don't know if it's a good example of it working, because it's still, I can still see it's quite damp in patches, but I'm pretty happy. It has, like, even down here was really, there was some big stains down here, and I think it's done a really good job. The only thing I was a little bit sad about is that I basically launched a jar of flowers on these 2 seats. You can see like where it just caught the edge of this one. And I was going to try and bring this back to life as much as I can, but we ran out of the the cleaning solution. So I can't show you that one, but I will show you the dresser mascot. There she is. I was so happy with her. It was a dress I found, I think I actually found it on Coast, but it was a Karen Millen dress, and it just felt really perfect for the day. There's like these big bows on the back, and then I wore it with quite a light straw bow tie with a white bow. So yeah, it was very pretty. But the next job is to find a more permanent home. Hopefully that's not quite as dark as it's showing up on the camera. The sun's gone around the other side of the house now, so. And this is how our carpets came up. So I feel like if you've got particular stains, if they're old stains, they're probably not going to come up. You can see one little one we've got here, and it's never really gone away. But the overall cleanliness of the carpet, I think you can really tell how much has come up. So I think it's time for a spot of lunch, but before I make that up, I am going to show you what I was hoping to start this month really, but I feel like I'm going to have to take a little bit of a decorating pause because it's, yeah, there's only so much sanding you can do in 1 month, let's put it that way. So this was actually what I was going to tackle next. We have shamefully been in this house for 5 years. I think we can kind of buy ourselves a little bit of an excuse in the fact that we thought we would probably move forward with the overall house renovations a little bit sooner than, oh, don't know what that means. Yeah, a little bit sooner than what we actually have done. And now we're gonna wait another few years, I think, for the overall big revamp, shall we say. And so it's basically given me the green light to do something with these bathrooms because they're horrendous. And the only thing that's made me go, actually, I don't care quite so much right now is the fact that the kids are basically like baby rhinos and wrecking things on the daily. So the fact that we don't have a really nice bathroom for them to absolutely nail is not making me super sad. However, what I have decided to do is give them a little bit of a glow up, shall we say. So I will quickly run you through what I think I'm going to do. Let me know if you think this is a good idea or not. But basically, where we've got these tiles, so I've gone through so many scenarios in my head about these tiles. They wrap around the entire bathrooms. There is no escaping them. And now my first go-to would have been painting them, because I have had a really great experience. Let me pop you up here and then I can explain a little bit more. I've had a really good experience with painting tiles in the kitchen, and so I'm a fan, and I would have done the whole painting, but as you can see here, this is like, it's basically like a shiny material, and also there's kind of ridges in it. It's not flat. And there's also these like little individual diamonds, I'll show you, dotted around. So actually I found out, or realised quite quickly, that painting them was not going to be an option. So then I kind of got really into the peel and stick tiles. I was going to try them because I'd seen enough videos, enough kind of people going for it, and I thought, do you know what, short term, that's going to work, that's going to be fine, it's going to be, yeah, perfect, we'll do that. And then when I got to kind of measuring things up, I suddenly realised I was going to have another issue, because the border that runs around is not only got this weird texture thing on, it's got like a slight ridge here. So I suddenly realised that any tile, peel and stick tiles that I was going to try and use wouldn't lay flat. So then I was really left with a conundrum, because I was like, right, so I can't paint the tiles, I can't cover them, what am I going to do next, because essentially, like, I don't want to buy tiles for this whole space. If it was a small space, I would have gone for it, which I still might do that in the shower room, but because it's such a big space, I don't think I want to find myself trialing the tiling for such a big bathroom. Well, not a big bathroom, but you know what I mean. So what I've decided to do, let me know what you think about this, is tongue and groove paneling. I think that I can get water, so around the bath, because obviously you mentioned the kids, little rugrats, they do like a bit of splashing. So obviously had a slight concern there with using, like, I guess it will be like an MDF laminate or something like that, or it will be some kind of MDF, that it would get so, yeah, but you can imagine. So I've now done enough research and I think they're going to be okay, and I think I can use like a water primer. I think I will obviously give you the full details, but I think it's going to be okay. And then what I think I'm going to do over on this back wall is fit like a kind of shelving unit there, just to make use of some space, but also because we've got this really odd end where there's a tile and a half's worth of width between the wall and the start of the bath. This side, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do here. Maybe just leave it tiled because it's just white tiles. And then the face of the bath, I think I'll try and get a bath panel, but again, I'm going to have a similar type of situation. I think though, from doing like a little bit of research, you can get a bath panel as long as you need it, because I'm sure I've seen ones that are slightly longer than what, say, your average bath would be. And then on this side, obviously take down that old heater. I'm going to keep a lookout. I actually saw one on Facebook Marketplace for a thing that's a bit more in keeping with the kind of style I'm going to go for, the aesthetic, which I think is probably a little bit more heritage than this style sink. Toilet, I'm obviously not going to do much about, but the widest toilet or longest toilet I've ever seen in my life. And then yeah, just try and zazz it up with finishings. Obviously get rid of that, even though, yeah, I need to do something. And the orange blind that has been here since we moved in, so I really hate to think how long that blind's been up there for. But I need to go for it. If I'm going to do it, I essentially need to go for it sooner rather than later, because have I explained to you that we have metal frame windows in this house, which means if you want to paint the metal frame windows, there's really only one time of year that you can do it, which is summertime, because we get lots of condensation in the autumn, winter months. So if you do any kind of painting, like it's basically like you've wasted your time because the paint just peels off. So the strategy that I found is to paint the windows in the summertime. Paint's got loads of time to dry, and then yeah, you get less peeling. Sorry, my arms hurt that much that I'm like starting here and then it goes. So anyway, time for lunch. It's another full-on day today because both kids are at nursery, so Sam and I have been back at the rental finishing off paintwork they needed topping up, and then I actually had hired a rug doctor because I thought I might be able to clean the carpets with a rug doctor, and then close inspection I needed to hire like a professional cleaning service. But what I try and do is clean our carpets once a year anyway, so we've also been having to make use of the rug doctor that we hired and clean every single rug and carpet we've got in the house. Sam's just finishing our bedroom off right now. So yeah, like I said, it's not the first time that we've hired a rug doctor, because we did it last year, actually probably April time last year, because I remember it was like just after we potty trained Fred's and he'd had a couple of accidents on the carpet, so we were like, ooh, let's get them cleaned properly. So yeah, I am getting so ready to finish and sign this one off, but I will show you around there. So this is our old house and what is now our rental. The decor, as you can tell, is very of that 2015, 14 maybe either, 2015 to 2020 kind of like, it's a lot of grey, and hence why I don't touch grey in the new house. Well, not even new house, we've been there for 5 years now. And does anyone remember the palette walls? But for some reason it still kind of works. This is like, this house just gives me like the nicest vibes, like the coziest vibes. Like and I don't know whether it's because of like we've had such good memories, it was our first home, I don't know what it is, but it's like, it just is a really unusual house, which is why I loved it. Essentially, like when we first moved in, there was the old exterior wall, so there was like a partition here, so we ended up having this like really oversized like entrance, amazing windows that you can see like we painted grey. It's a bit of a dismal day today. And then this was like a really tiny galley kitchen, and then over here was like quite a large, I guess, living area, but it could have been like dining room or whatever. So what we did was, like I said, there was we knocked a wall down here, knocked the old exterior wall, put a steel in, and then like made this kind of really open plan kitchen area with a homemade kitchen island, which I think it still looks quite good, apart from that old end bit which we need to fix. But yeah, it looks really, I think it was like a good mix of like industrial, it's obviously like an old Victorian house, and the kitchen like makes me quite jealous because it's still, like I would never choose this type of finish again, but it just is like, yeah, it's just nice to have a nice clean kitchen and no paintwork to touch up. But like you said, obviously I think we've had a couple sets of tenants in now, so there's just like things that kind of crop up and need touching up, like paintwork and just general maintenance. That's normally where a fridge goes, so you don't normally see all that, but we had a new boiler, so we need to just touch up that whole area, paintwork here, and paintwork on this wall because it's obviously quite a feature wall. Look at the random staircase as well. I don't know what it is about us and buying houses that have got funky staircases in, but we tend to do it twice over now. There's like a downstairs shower room in here, which is not very spectacular. Hello. But it's like, again, it's like decent enough. That's the other thing. I always seem to have a house that has a shower by the front door. And I'll take you upstairs now. So the upstairs we've been decorating over the weekend, hence why I look like this, because all the dust and things like that really gets to me. So you'll have to forgive the state of the upstairs. That's why I'm here to kind of finish off today. So come up. The one thing that has always shocked me is, it don't look too bad here, but the carpet's got really ruined. And then this is like the smaller second bedroom. So we actually decorated this, I say we, it was all me in terms of choosing this colour, but it was like a really obnoxious blue, and it's obviously just a bit, sorry, just ran out of memory card. So as I was saying, this bedroom is the smaller bedroom, and it was like a really obnoxious blue colour, but it was a bit too much for renters. I could totally appreciate that. Not what everyone needs, so we toned down the paintwork, but when I came back in, there was just like loads of scratches and stuff on the wall, so I actually used something called a magic eraser just to tidy it back up. There's like a little wardrobe space over there. I don't know why I love this house so much, but I really do. It's not really going to focus. And then there's a teeny tiny bathroom with a bath. Right, this is the other thing of this house, is all these like weird, very 90s, what was that DIY show called? Glass blocks everywhere. Yeah, we didn't ever get around to changing those. And then again, this is not looking great at the moment because we're midway through redecorating it, and we had to annoyingly choose a paint colour that is as close as match as we could to the old paint, which doesn't appear to be made anymore, which is annoying. It was like a Craig and Rose pipe clay, and we've actually got it in our bedroom at home. But yeah, it was, it doesn't look as though you can order it anymore. So, oh, Sam's left that open, that's not good. A huge Bella's window. And a bit of exposed brickwork in the back, which is cool. So yeah, we're redecorating, which is what I'm here to do today. Just do a second coat, and then yeah. It's such a shock to the system when you come into this house from our house, because I actually remember the first winter we spent in our house. I actually think I had like a little bit of like SAD, because there is so much light in this house, and our current house is actually the complete opposite. There are so many windows, but just because of like where we are, because we're like basically really tapped up into woodlands, we're like, it's, I think maybe because it's one floor, it's just quite a dark house. So yeah, coming back here, I feel like my eyes are watering a little bit from it just being so bright, and also how warm. It's so much warmer than our house. So I'll just quickly show you our progress. The carpet cleaner's just left and has done an amazing job with the carpet, so I'm chuffed to bits with that. But there's still a few bits that I need to do, come back and do. Like, I need to try and find a little fix for this wood, for the island, sorry. But whatever, it's like not the end of the day because we've done so much everything else. We need to touch up a little bit of paint on the, can you see it there, a little bit? Just where we've filled in a little crack. Kitchen's had a little lick of paint with the dark wall there, and the white, just I think where the splashback had happened. By the sink, we gave the black wall a nice lick of paint because it had just seen better days, and I think where we'd like covered little nodules up, it had just, yeah, it just started to look a bit messy. So that's all nice. In here I actually still need to go back and do some of the patching up, but actually I found a really good white paint from Brewers. If anybody actually has ever thought about getting a colour match rather than an actual paint colour from the brand, I've never really done that way, just because I found Craig and Rose quite early, and they are like on the more reasonable end of price, like paint prices, I'd say. They're like I'd say they were like a midway point, but in actual fact, the Brewers paints, I kind of got caught out once where I wasn't quite expecting how expensive they were, but in retrospect I think I've realised it was because I had like a specific type of paint, because it was when I was doing the porch, so I had to explain it had to be really, really durable, obviously water, like be kind of able to withstand like water and all that stuff. So I think that's actually what made it expensive. And then they also do like offers, but I've been so impressed with just like the basic Brewers all white, which is, I guess, like, you know, we didn't go for any specific colour on these walls, we just kind of put some white up. I've just been so impressed with the coverage. It's like, yeah, it's done really, really amazing stuff, so we'll see. Okay, right, let's take you upstairs. I can show you the carpets. I don't think I can actually stand on the carpets, so I might have to show you that tomorrow, but if you could have seen these beforehand, oh, I think I did show you. Yeah, they were in a bad way, but they look amazing now, so I'll turn you around. So, there's a couple of stains that have come up whilst he was cleaning, which he said could have been from like something repetitively wet or sitting on there, so God knows what that was. There's a big stain there in the doorway, which he said he's got most of it up. I can't really see anything left, so I think he's done an amazing job. I'll just peer you around in here. Done like a big paint touch up in that room, which I'm glad has come up well. Just looks so light and airy. And then if I can just see if I can show you a little bit, we basically redid the whole bedroom and into the bathroom, but I can't show you that because I can't stand on the carpet. So I would say that we are pretty much ready to go for the next set of renters, which is nice. A good job done. I'm absolutely exhausted. And just in case I don't forget to pick up the camera again this weekend, I will say goodbye because we're off to Top Golf tonight for our anniversary, which would be nice. I've not been there for years. Or let me just show you this as well. How dreamy. How dreamy. So, if I don't see you over the weekend or I don't remember to pick this camera back up again, let me know what you think about my bathroom conundrum back in our house, what you would do, and we'll see you next time.